Tide.
Play action this time. Pressure coming from the edge. They'll beat one man. Ball's not loose. It's on the ground. Scramble. Bama has it. Bama has it. Looking deep. Who doesn't have anybody there except Malachi Moore. Interception. Milrow tucks it. Runs. A lot of room. 45-40. Foot race. 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Alabama. Play action. Tuck it away. He fires it, and it's caught. Did he get to the first down? He did. Wow. Wow. And what do you say, folks? Let's get out of here. Bama, a winner over the Georgia Bulldogs, claiming the SEC title.
Welcome to the 2024 Golden Flake A-Day game on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
15, 10-5, touchdown, Alabama.
The 2024 Golden Flake A-Day game is presented by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Ziegler Meats. Ziegler Meats is an Alabama original and the official hot dog of the Crimson Tide. Golden Flake, the official potato chip of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Mercedes-Benz. The vehicles are all electric. The feeling is all Mercedes. Brett Robinson Vacation Rentals. Roll Tide from the beaches of Alabama. Book your vacation at rolltidebeach.com. And by Cook's Pest Control and Centricon, the unbeatable combination for termite protection. Now, here's Chris Stewart.
Spring football 2024 comes to a close for the Alabama Crimson Tide on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon at Bryant-Denny Stadium. You're listening to exclusive coverage of the 2024 Golden Flake A-Day game from Bryant-Denny Stadium. Welcome, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. Pleased to be joined by Tyler Watts. We'll have Chris Stewart call all the action coming up in a few moments, and we'll join as well on the field by our sideline reporter, Christian Miller. But we're glad to be with you for the final practice for Alabama football here in the spring of 2024 as Tyler Watts. A lot has changed since the last time we talked on January 1st at the Rose Bowl.
Quite a bit, hasn't it? Around the program, obviously, with the retirement of Coach Saban and Coach Kalen DeBoer being announced as the new head football coach here at the University of Alabama. I know the players are excited about what he brings to the table and just what an incredible job he did, especially the first couple of weeks of putting together that staff. A lot of changes, kind of like the transfer portal. Guys are here one day and then they're leaving, and being able to fill those roles with some high-quality coaches to come in here to Tuscaloosa to hopefully take this football program in a very successful direction.
Well, today, Alabama football with the A-Day game. Always special. A great crowd is on hand here at Bryant-Denny Stadium, and it really is the final practice. We will get to see the Crimson Tide, and we understand there will be some roster turnover coming up with the spring portal opening up soon as well. But this is still one last look at the Crimson Tide before it all kicks off coming up later this fall.
And it ought to be exciting. I know the players, obviously, they love A-Day from the standpoint of this is the first time that they're playing back in front of the Alabama faithful who are filling in as we speak, filling up this stadium. This is a special moment for a lot of these guys, and we talk about it every year. People who have been waiting their turn to get out there on the field are finally going to have that chance, and as well as younger guys who are just the grunts who work hard each and every year, putting looks together for these offensive and defensive units to be able to come out here and be recognized and be able to contribute in the spring game.
What's impressed you the most when you have gone to practice? How about the energy we've seen on both sides of the ball?
I think the guys are excited about what they're doing. Obviously, it's a learning process. A lot of different systems are in place, personnel groupings, how you call certain things, but the game is the game. But they're going through that learning curve right now, and they're drinking through a fire hose, so to speak, with the terminology and what it is that's expected out of them. And guys are moving around trying to find exactly where they're fitting in best. But as long as you can maintain the energy that you spoke of and be excited about going out there and learning and playing, then the natural part of it eventually is going to click mentally, and then you're just going out there and continuing to play.
We'll be keeping track of the score as the game will be offense versus defense. Both sides will be able to score points in the scrimmage, and, of course, the score will be kept on the scoreboards here at Bryant-Denny Stadium, communicated to the press box as defense has opportunity to score points with a takeaway. That's worth 7 points. 3 and out would be 3 points. 2 points for a missed field goal. 2 points for a punt as well, and also some scoring as well for fourth down stop. Should be a lot of fun. Alabama taking part in the 2024 Golden Flake A-Day game here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. When we come back, Chris Stewart will have his pregame conversation with the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Kalen DeBoer, as we get closer to the Golden Flake A-Day game here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Chris Stewart back with you at Bryant-Denny Stadium. It's time for A-Day and our first pregame interview with Coach Kalen DeBoer. It's presented by Mercedes-Benz. The vehicles are all electric. The feeling is all Mercedes. Coach, welcome for the 1,028th time at least to the University of Alabama. But you and I are getting a chance to visit now after you just left the Walk of Fame ceremony honoring the captains, one of so many traditions at Alabama. First time you had a chance to experience it, though, and just want your thoughts on what that piece of Bama history is like.
Yeah, it's pretty special to be a part of that ceremony today and just processing, who's all got their feet in that cement, over the years. And so, there's so many great moments that today brings out, and that's definitely one of them. It was great to be a part of it.
Cannot imagine what all was involved in just trying to get ready for the start of spring practice. There's so much that has to be done. Was the football maybe the easiest part of everything that's transpired since you were introduced?
I would definitely say yes. I think the football piece is the release, right? That's what you love to do, and that's why you got into this as a coach. And I think, as you go through the years, there's other pieces to it on, the impact you can make on guys' lives and so forth. But spring ball has been amazing, and it's flown by. We did the 3 practices before break and then came back, and just all of a sudden here we are, and A-Day, and just really excited about the guys getting a chance to showcase all the work they've put in. But the football piece is certainly the most enjoyable part. But I love bringing this group together, coaches, staff, on and off the field staff, and just, getting to this point where we're at today.
I understand the portal transfers, all of that makes the game very different. But that being said, you basically inherit a roster by and large. How much of the first spring involves you trying to adapt what you want to do with the personnel you have and trying to adapt that personnel to what you really want done long term?
Yeah, I think right now is what you're just trying to do is install the offense and defense and the schemes and systems. And what we'll do is just, the tendencies and the personnel groupings, that's, starting to kind of take shape a little bit. You kind of figure out who the guys are, the combinations that, you're the most successful with. But we still really haven't got to that point, and so, yeah, there's a point where we'll just continue to evolve, and whether it's offense or defense, we'll evolve the foundation of what we've done is in place, and now you just really continue to work around your personnel. But the system is the system. The calls are going to be there. It's just a matter of the window dressing, the personnel groupings. You just need all these things that you have for certain situations, whether it's red zone, short yardage, goal line, 2-minute drill, and we've just incorporated and done a good job. The coach has done a great job of incorporating all that into spring ball here through the first 14 practices.
With workouts and everything that's involved, I understand it's in essence a year-round sport, but it is the conclusion basically of spring practice. What has stood out to you the most about this group of young men as you've gone through this?
Well, I think it's been consistent that they've brought this mindset that every time they're in the building, every time they're in a meeting room, every time they're on the football field, it's about the work. And just so impressed on how really you don't feel like a minute goes by where you're wasting any time, and that would be the standard and what the expectation would be from our coaching staff. But it hasn't ever felt like you're ever trying to pull the guys along. They are eager. They're excited to learn, the new systems that are in place. I mean, they're just pouring everything into it and doing the extra work. Aside from the moments that we're with them as a coaching staff. And so I just think that consistency of what they've poured into it, every moment that they could, they've made the most of here, most of what these 14 practices and this time over spring has been when it comes to the football piece.
Finally, Coach, the scrimmage today will not be crimson versus white. It's offense versus defense. What are you hoping to see? What are you looking for? I guess maybe the better way to phrase it from today.
Yeah, I think first of all, just the setup. I'm not married to, it being offense versus defense years to come and things like that. I just think with personnel, the number of guys we have at certain positions, I don't want to be vulnerable to all of a sudden the day and the excitement being deflated if, we would have a guy go down or something like that at a couple spots. So I just want to see us take the next step. That's what I'm going to challenge the guys to do in the locker room before we step on the field. And yes, we're here to showcase what we've put into it and the work they've done, have a good time with the fans. But this is a great chance for us to continue to work on tackling and work on, execution, do it in an environment where it isn't just a closed door behind the scenes and, there's fans out front and in center. And so, this is the first time for 20 freshmen and a few transfers where they get a chance to experience this just like I am, for the first time. And so it gives them a taste and a bit of energy, kind of boost going into the summer, continuing to help them understand what it's going to look like come this fall.
Coach, thank you for the time so much. Look forward to the first of many.
Yeah, my pleasure. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Coach Kalen DeBoer with us on our Mercedes-Benz pregame interview. We're back with more from Tuscaloosa in a moment on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Brett Robinson Vacation Rentals invites you to soak up the sun, sand, and surf on Alabama's Gulf Coast at www.rolltidebeach.com. Our coastal properties and Gulf Shores and Orange Beach are less than a 5-hour drive from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Sugar white sand beaches and emerald water are waiting for you. And don't forget, our condo amenities include lazy rivers, indoor and outdoor pools, and great Gulf views. Check out www.rolltidebeach.com for a special Bama-only offer of 10% off any vacation in 2018.
Hey, Bama fans. Tuscaloosa Drug Company is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide Athletics. We've been serving our community and the University Athletic Department for over a decade. There are 3 locations in the Tuscaloosa and Northport area to serve you. We understand the importance of prompt and efficient service. That's why we strive to provide service that you can rely on, where we know you by name. The next time you have a medication need, call who the Tide calls, Tuscaloosa Drug.
Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Termites attack the Centricon stations, exposing themselves to an agent that eliminates their entire colony. Upgrade from old-fashioned liquid service to the proven protection of Centricon and Cook's Pest Control. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Hey there, Alabama fans! Shoe Station is your one-stop shop for style for the whole family. With 12 stores across Alabama, including our latest edition in Gadsden, Shoe Station is bringing the style and comfort. Head into any of our stores and explore our selection of over 30,000 pairs of shoes from top brands like Hoka, Hey Dude, Brooks, and so much more. No matter the occasion, Shoe Station has something for everyone. So why wait? Visit Shoe Station today and find your perfect fit.
Alongside Tyler Watts and with our sideline reporter Christian Miller, Chris Stewart back with you here at the 2024 Golden Flake A-Day game from Bryant-Denny Stadium. Our coverage is brought to you in part by Brett Robinson Vacation Rentals, a proud presenting sponsor of today's A-Day game. Roll Tide from the O-line to the shoreline. Book your Alabama beach vacation with Brett Robinson Vacation Rentals at RollTideBeach.com. Today, again, Brett Robinson Vacation Rentals online at RollTideBeach.com. Tyler Watts, fun time, exciting time, and different in that we've got the new head coach. We've also got a familiar crowd. Boy, we remember vividly what it was like to have 90,000 plus inside Bryant-Denny Stadium 18 years ago now, I guess, for Nick Saban's first A-Day. I'm not sure we're going to get to 90, but, man, we may be really, really close to it by the time they finish filing in on an absolutely gorgeous Saturday here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
It is beautiful weather and a great day to end spring training here for these guys and the fans, getting their first look at what this new coaching staff is going to do with these players.
Christian Miller down on the field, a man who played for Coach Nick Saban. He told me earlier today, Christian, you will be able to appreciate this. He's a little uptight about today's game because it's the first time in his life he will have ever sat next to Miss Terry and watched a ball game. He's got some concerns, and it's understandable, isn't it, buddy?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, look, she's the true commander-in-chief, so we'll see how much she lets Coach do. But no, I'm sure it's going to be different for him, watching from that angle. But I know he's just proud of his team, his players, and everything that that he set up here. I mean, he's laid the true foundation here in Tuscaloosa, and it's been so special to be a part of and to see that all these fans are here today to support the new coach and this new era is really special.
Not just part of our broadcast crew, but as a former player for Coach Saban and naturally an alum of the university as well. Your thoughts on what you have seen from Kalen DeBoer since taking over as head football coach?
Well, first thing that comes to mind, Chris, is energy. I mean, the guy brings a lot of energy to practice. There's a lot of new things, right? And it's been a little different, as a former player to see, starting with the music. But I've seen that these players respond well to it. It gets them going. And this coaching staff that he's brought with him, they do a nice job of really teaching these players and using these opportunities during the spring to really not just install their system, but also say, look, this is how you can get better. These are the fundamentals that we need to work on right now. That way we can go back to the drawing board during the summer. You guys can hit the weight room. And then when we come back during fall camp and we're ready to go, get back to that install and prepare for our first game. So I've seen a lot of really good stuff out of this staff, and I'm really impressed with them so far.
Excited to see what it looks like. It'll be very different today for A-Day. We're going to talk about the scoring system. It will not be the traditional crimson versus white in terms of two separate teams. It will be offense versus defense, as you heard Coach DeBoer say in our pregame visit just a few moments ago. That may change in the future, but for this first spring, he wanted to see his top offensive guys, his top defensive guys, and really both for the two sides just going at each other a little bit in the scrimmage today. So we'll break down what the scoring will look like when we come back on the other side of this break. We are counting down kickoff for Golden Flake A-Day. It's less than 20 minutes away here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise. and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because feeling full can sound like this.
How did the interview go? I did! I got the job! I can't believe it!
And like this.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/act now. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Did you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Enjoy the simple southern goodness of Golden Flake, the official potato chip for the Crimson Tide. Kickoff for the 2024 Golden Flake A-Day game is coming up in just a short while. Chris Stewart, Tyler Watts with you in the booth. Christian Miller down on the sidelines. Butch Owens once again back as our spotter. Of course, our producer engineer is Tom Stipe. Our studio engineer is Bobby Blackburn. Our Facebook Live pictures courtesy of Ethan Carabin. Roger Hoover, our broadcast host, who has already understandably stepped aside. We have baseball coming up on the network, and Roger, of course, the voice of Alabama baseball, will have the call for the Tide and the Arkansas Razorbacks. If you're listening to us in the stadium or as you're driving into the stadium for A-Day, don't forget baseball comes your way at 5 o'clock tonight as well. So maybe as you're departing the football stadium, a chance to just go down the road to the Joe Sewell Thomas Stadium to see the Tide and the top-ranked Razorbacks of Arkansas meeting Game 2 of the weekend series here. Jim Carabin's the boss. He is our Vice President, General Manager of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Tyler, when you took part in this game in years past as a player, different, important, but also with a new head coach, something you unfortunately had quite a bit of experience in dealing with.
Checking all these boxes.
Yeah, you know them all. What is this like for the players who are performing, technically speaking, under the lights for the first time with Kalen DeBoer as their head coach?
It's amazing how the mindset of a player kind of changes throughout the course of his career. I know early on, your first 1 or 2 times that you're able to play in the spring game, and you treat it just like a game. It's your first chance to go out there and really compete and show what you can do, not only to the fans but also to the coaches, and you really are anticipating that opportunity. And then as you get older, it's more about just refining what you're doing, trying to end this thing on a strong positive note. So it's fun to watch how the players will balance that, because it's a little bit different for everybody. But most of these guys, it's not the first impression for these coaching staffs, but it's the first opportunity in front of everybody to see what they can do. And there are some players that just truly are gamers. When the lights come on, the fans show up, that's when they perform their best. And I'm sure we'll probably have an opportunity to witness that here today from some of these guys, and that will make an impression.
I'm terrible at estimations with crowds, but if this is going based on it being 100,000 seat capacity, give or take a few, we've got to be in excess of 60 right now, don't you?
I would think so. Carter? I think the lower bowl would probably be 50 to 60,000, and we're getting close to filling it up.
And you've got also a good number that are in the shaded side, in the upper deck as well. A few brave souls are in the end zones cooking a little bit, and also here on, I guess this would be the east stands where we are broadcasting from as well. There are a few I can see above us as well. They're fighting and finding shade in the rafters, if you will, here
of the outdoor stadium, if there is such a thing. But they're trying to find some places to be comfortable. But, man, we could not ask for a more beautiful day in Tuscaloosa. Not a cloud to be found. Temperatures around 80 degrees. And it is a great day to usher in the Kalen DeBoer era as head football coach at the University of Alabama. And, Tyler, I don't know that we would have said that for a coach until 18 years ago when Nick Saban came in and we saw 90,000 plus here for his first one, because that truly was a signal. There's a new sheriff in town. There's a new day. There's a new level of excitement. And a day mattered to a lot of people 18 years ago, and I think clearly it means a lot to a ton of people in this stadium today.
It not only that, but also the precedent that it set across the country. Think about how much it was talked about, how many people showed up, and
right.
it put this program back on the map nationally. It allowed to reach audiences and families and players around the country that maybe would not have considered coming to the South prior to Coach Saban showing up and the fans showing up in support. It made a huge impression across the country, and as you know, a lot of other schools attempted through marketing campaigns to try to beat those numbers, but what was so impressive, it was all organic that day 18 years ago, and to have even 60,000 show up for Coach DeBoer's first day, that's awfully impressive.
Games were not broadcast live on national television at that point, I don't believe. You and I were doing regional cable television broadcasts that day. You found out the hard way that traffic really was amped up.
Yeah.
trying to get into the stadium that day. But it really did kind of bring college football into what we almost take for granted now over the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, it definitely it set the standard of what was to come. And, of course, Alabama was leading the way.
Not surprising that would be the case. In just a few moments, we'll have the start of your Golden Flake A-Day 2024. The Crimson Tide offense versus the Crimson Tide defense. It will be the offense wearing the white uniforms today, the defense wearing the crimson. Not surprisingly, the quarterbacks wearing the black jerseys, which means don't hit them too hard, if at all. And we will be breaking everything down for you as the game progresses. We'll give you the scoring setup, and we will also have the beginning. A-Day 2024, again, the beginning of the Kalen DeBoer era here in Tuscaloosa. We're glad you're with us on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Makari Doggett from Alabama Gymnastics. Winter is a time when viruses that cause respiratory disease circulate more heavily in our community. Vaccination against RSV, flu, and COVID-19 is important for everyone, especially for those who are at higher risk of developing serious complications, including older Americans and those with medical conditions. So, don't wait, vaccinate. Ask your medical provider for more information on how you can protect yourself from respiratory illnesses. For more information on vaccinations, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM. Stay safe and roll Tide.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Nuke's Eatery is a family-rooted quality kitchen where those seeking high-quality, feel-good comforts will find just what they're looking for. At Nuke's, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit Nuke's Eatery locally in Tuscaloosa on University Boulevard or order online from the Nuke's Eatery nearest you at nukes.com. That's NEWKS.com. Nuke's Eatery always rolls with the tide.
Hey there, Alabama fans! Shoe Station is your one-stop shop for style for the whole family. With 12 stores across Alabama, including our latest edition in Gadsden, Shoe Station is bringing the style and comfort. Head into any of our stores and explore our selection of over 30,000 pairs of shoes from top brands like Hoka, Hey Dude, Brooks, and so much more. No matter the occasion, Shoe Station has something for everyone. So why wait? Visit Shoe Station today and find your perfect fit.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota, Let's go places. Get 2.99% APR for 36 months on a new 2024 Toyota RAV4. Offer valid through April 30th, 2024. Zero down for well-qualified buyers with approved credit and financing through Southeast Toyota Finance. $29.08 monthly payment for every $1,000 financed. Excludes tax tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
Band, of course, performing another beautiful rendition of our national anthem here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. So glad you have joined us for the Golden Flake 8A game 2024. Chris Stewart alongside Tyler Watts here in the booth at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Christian Miller roaming the sidelines once again for us, and so glad that you have joined us for our coverage of Golden Flake 8A. A little bit on how we're going to see things scored today. It will be different as we will have offense versus defense in today's ball game. That is the breakdown. It is not crimson versus white, although technically I guess we do. The offense is wearing white. The defense is wearing crimson. The offense will get 6 points for a touchdown, 1 for an extra point, 3 for a field goal. Same scoring that we normally would have there. Defense, though, gets 7 points for a takeaway. They get 3 for a 3 and out. If the offense misses a field goal, the defense gets 2 points. And if they force a punt, then there is 2 points for the defense as well. A fourth down stop results in 6 points. Let's see. If it's from the 1 to the 49, it's 6 points. If it's midfield back to the 26, they get 5. And if there is a fourth down stop when it's 25 to 1 yard, there is 4 points. That is the 25-yard line to the 1. So good luck trying to figure all that out. I'm going to tell you when it goes on the scoreboard. How about that? And seeing Alabama come out of the tunnel. It will be Kalen DeBoer leading the Crimson Tide out. And Thunderstruck once again is going to lead the Tide out. I think we had a audio glitch for a second, but it's fixed now. And for the first time, Kalen DeBoer leads the Alabama Crimson Tide out of the tunnel and does so to a standing ovation. Yes, there's a new captain in charge, but it's still Alabama football. The expectations are the same, but there is excitement to see exactly what this version of Alabama football will look like with a new head coach and staff.
Yeah, it is awfully interesting to see that although things can change in the building with the play calling, terminology, things of that nature, it's still football. It still comes down to tackling and blocking and making plays. And regardless of whether music's being played on the field during practice or what's going on, when it boils down to it, it's about being successful and winning football games. And that's where the emphasis has never left with this coaching staff. It continues to be there. It's just going to be a little bit different approach in what we see here today.
We'll see exactly what happens in terms of kickoff, if we will have that take place or not. But before we get all of that started, why don't we pause 10 seconds so our local stations can identify themselves to you. Welcome to the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Well, Tyler Watts, one thing we know is going to be different. The all-time leading scorer in the history of college football is not going to be handling kickoffs or kicks, period, for University of Alabama. And that is obviously quite a change.
He was here forever.
And, of course, talking about Reichert, who had been so just stable at that position for so many years. But I know that they have some guys that are competing for these kicking positions that they're excited about. They feel that they're consistent. It's just maybe getting a little bit stronger leg, but that's going to come with time.
Upton Belafont, a walk-on, will handle the kicking duties. He's out of Stewart's Creek High School, a junior from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, 6'2", 175, and he will handle the initial kickoff as Jam Miller, who will be heavily involved in the offense, along with Kendrick Law, are also back as the return men for the Crimson Tide, a group that has a chance to be highly explosive in the return game.
It's exciting when you get playmakers back there, and of course things are changing. You're going to see taking a couple of chances. We saw last season the ability to advance the ball past the 25, 30-yard line. If you can start there, that really increases your likelihood of you putting points on the board.
ESPN also televising Golden Flake 8A, and Coach DeBoer talking with field reporter from ESPN before the kickoff takes place. There is no return unit. There are 2 return men back. I don't know football strategy. I would say it's a great time for an onside kick.
It's like something in the XFL, right? Good luck.
They're 80 yards downfield. Not quite. 65 yards. Onside kick it right here, boys. No, that is obviously just to give Belafont a chance to swing the leg into it and see if he can kick it to or through the end zone. This one would be fielded at the 7-yard line, and a wise determination on the part of Kendrick Law with absolutely no blockers. He called for the fair catch right there, so Bama will have it 1st and 10 from their 25, and I apologize in advance saying Bama, they're all Bama. I realize that, but it will be the white team, the offense, that will start at the 25-yard line. And a familiar face starting at quarterback, why not Jalen Milroe, the man who led the Tide to the Rose Bowl game last year.
Did an outstanding job, just progressed and got better every week last season. Now he needs to take that next step as a leader on this football team.
Operating from the pistol formation with 2 men in the backfield to him, left and right. The handoff goes to Jam Miller, getting to the left side. He has got first down room and more. Across midfield, he's going to be bumped out of bounds at the 49-yard line of the defense. That is the Crimson defense. So a first down for Alabama, and our first downs are brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. Well, Bama goes on the ground on the first play, and they go 2 right at the 50-yard line. So a 25-yard pickup on the first play from scrimmage. Single set back to the right of Milroe, who again operates from the pistol with 2 wide outs each side. He wants to throw this time. He'll step up in the pocket. He will elude the rush, and he will move forward to the 39-yard line, I believe, is where they'll touch him down. Actually, they're going to spot him back, it looks like, at the 42. So not a first down, but a gain of 8 nonetheless on the somewhat broken play, but a typical read that we have seen from Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, and what's really good is the fact that you're waiting for the plays to develop downfield, the routes, but if they're not there, you're not holding on the ball too long. Jalen last year got in some trouble holding on to it, trying to make plays a little too late in the play.
Second down and a couple for a first down. Single set back to his right, looks like Miller, and the handoff will go to him, and he will get close to that first down mark, and I believe he does stretch across it, so it will be enough to move the chains. We are a little limited in our stats that we have available here, so we ask for your patience in giving you the traditional sound. Of course, I got Butch Owens here, so I got a lot of stuff covered. That's another first down, which means more points for the offense. Actually, it doesn't. I'm sorry. The defense only gets points if they get the stop. Justice Haynes in the backfield. Play action to him as Milroe will look deep. He's got a man wide open. Catch is going to be made at the 5 and knocked down there. A great grab for Alabama and Jeremy Bernard. That's the young man that transferred from University of Washington, and not surprising, he would be an early target for 37 yards.
Really nice protection up front by the offensive line. This defensive front has had good success throughout the spring, but plenty of time on that play.
First and goal from the 5. Handoff goes right side. Haynes lowering his shoulder, diving into the end zone for a touchdown for the white team. The offense gets a touchdown on its first drive, so 6 points, traditional scoring for the white team. And again, that's the only way they get points. Touchdown, extra point, field goal, typical scoring for them. We'll keep reminding you of the different ways for the defense to score as that takes place. Reed Schuback will handle the first extra point attempt of the day. It'll do so from the hold of, let's see, Cole Adams as the spot. And kick are good. Snap is as well. And the offense able to get on the board with a nice drive covering 75 yards. And they do so over the span of about 2.5 minutes. Why don't we go ahead and get a break out of the way? It's 7-0 in favor of the offense. We're back after this on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for greatest of all time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care would love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Termites attack the Centricon stations, exposing themselves to an agent that eliminates their entire colony. Upgrade from old-fashioned liquid service to the proven protection of Centricon and Cook's Pest Control. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Well, the offense with second-team quarterback has already started its drive and moved the football well up to midfield, and now a run to the left side from the 50-yard line. Picks up about 7 or 8. Richard Young, the young running back, able to pick up nice yardage there. Richard Young, the redshirt freshman out of Lehigh High School in Lehigh Acres, Florida, 5'11", 200. 9 carries, 24 yards, and a touchdown last year, and obviously very limited work. Daniel Hill now in the backfield. Behind the quarterback, Ty Simpson working with the second unit. On a 2nd and a yard, they'll hand it off and going to the right side and getting to the 40-yard line. Enough to move the chains. Jeremiah Alexander with the stop of Daniel Hill. Tyler, everybody knows what Jalen Milroe is capable of, but Ty Simpson also apparently has made some really good strides in the spring.
Now in his 3rd season down here in Tuscaloosa, is kind of coming into his own from the confidence standpoint and just feeling comfortable with who he is and his place on this team. And has made huge strides this spring and had a really good year.
Hill, the running back to the left of Simpson, play action to him. Simpson stepping up in the pocket, bounces to his left, keeping the shoulders square, fires downfield, has a man down there, but it's going to be incomplete or intercepted. Well, wait, it was indeed fielded, but out of the field of play. A great job made defensively by Bray Hubbard, the defensive back, stepping up and getting the interception, but he was out of bounds in doing so, but a heck of a play by Hubbard, the sophomore from Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
It's a broken down play. The ball hung in the air a little bit too long, but Hubbard, he covered quite a bit of ground coming from the middle of the field in order to get over there to pick it off. Just slightly out of bounds, though.
Playing safety in coverage there. Here's Richard Young back in the backfield behind Simpson. Now moves to his left. Again from the pistol. Handoff will not be made. It'll be the quarterback keeping it himself, and down upon contact is Ty Simpson. They're not taking the quarterbacks to the ground. They're not even hitting them very hard at all. And that'll get him inside the 40 to about the 36. So we'll have 3rd and about 6 upcoming. So again, the offense wearing the white uniforms, the crimson wearing the defense. Defense looking for a stop, trying to get off the field and get some points as Simpson will throw across the middle a little high. Had a man there, but it was incomplete. He was trying to connect with Emmanuel Henderson Jr. And that will bring up 4th down and 6.
It was a zone coverage on that, and Christian alluded to this. I mean, a lot more zone being played this spring than what we've seen in years past.
Absolutely. You know, you look at Coach Saban's system, and you're used to seeing that cover 7, which is more of a pattern match where it is zone, but it can turn into man. Now you're seeing a lot more true zone where guys are dropping to a spot and reading the quarterback. So it's going to be important that these guys are doing just that and making sure they're doing their job and covering their zones.
Simpson on 4th and 6. Looking with time, fires, has a man, catch is made. That'll be enough for the 1st down. As the white team is able to move the sticks again, the offense, a nice job as the connection was made with Danny Lewis Jr., tight end, and able to pick up nice yardage there, moving the sticks, keeping the drive alive on a 4th down play that covers roughly 10 yards. So a fresh set of downs as they'll move the single set back to the left of Simpson. High snap, but able to bring it down and then fire it to the man out of the backfield. That's a nice grab and rush after the catch from Daniel Hill. Boy, we had a pretty good angle on that one, Tyler. That was not an easy one to bring in, but it was right on the money. It
was a really nice throw also. Kind of threw it from his hip in order to get it around a defender to the open running back coming out of the backfield.
No room for error on that play, and they execute it perfectly, setting up a 2nd and about 2.5. Again, it's Hill. He'll get the carry this time, and he'll fight forward. He's going to be just shy, I believe, of the 1st down by about a foot. Defense will run Edric Hill out there, D lineman, and moving guys off and on. Pretty base what they'll do.
I think so.
Here in the spring game, not a lot of
and it's not
moving parts.
And I don't think it's for fear of opposing coaches watching this game trying to get an edge on it. It's just you got to imagine the introductory level that they're trying to develop and go through. Now, granted, they've been in the classroom for several months, but putting into practice is a whole nother deal. And you slowly, even heard Coach DeBoer in your interview talking about it. This is where our base is, our starting point, and we're going to add to it. We're going to evolve throughout the course of the summer and fall camp. But this is a good starting point.
Gain of about 5 yards on that play. That'll move the chains once again. So 13th play of this drive upcoming. Impressive from the 2nd team offensive unit, or at least the 2nd team quarterback. They'll move a man in motion. That's Adams. And the toss will go to him, and Adams will work his way forward, picks up another 7, 8, maybe even 9 yards. Jeremiah Alexander, the linebacker, there to make the hit again. Good that we're calling his name a good bit. Everybody's expecting him to step up and be a big part of the defense this year out of Thompson High School.
Another big body who's been patient, waiting his turn to get out there on the field, and needs to make the most of not only today but the summer workouts, but definitely somebody that they can count on to contribute.
The This will be second, and they will say 5, as they didn't give him as much progress as I thought. Toss sweep left side, working inside the 5, bulling his way towards the goal line, and getting in for a touchdown. That's going to be Richard Young. Boy, that's a heck of a run, because he took some contact about 3 or 4 yards from the goal line.
And the snap was a little bit high, and it took Ty Simpson just a second longer to get the ball out to him on the edge. But he did. He made a man miss at the line of scrimmage and then ran over 2 more defenders down at the goal line. Scratching your head. Is it a great run or poor tackling?
Yes, absolutely. Without there being a rush from the defense, Belafont will try another extra point. His first. He handled the kickoff to start our A-Day game, and he does indeed kick it through. Again, there was no rush, but again, there was the new head coach and also 65,000 plus in attendance. That brings some nerves with it as well. There is a timeout on the field, and we will take the break with them. Looking at the scoreboard, yes, it is indeed 14-0. The white team, the offense, leading the defense, hasn't gotten a stop yet. We'll see if that changes when we come back here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is, my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately, in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Brent Robinson Vacation Rentals invites you to soak up the sun, sand, and surf on Alabama's Gulf Coast at www.rolltidebeach.com. Our coastal properties in Gulf Shores and Orange Beach are less than a 5-hour drive from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Sugar white sand beaches and emerald water are waiting for you. And don't forget, our condo amenities include lazy rivers, indoor and outdoor pools, and great Gulf views. Check out www.rolltidebeach.com for a special Bama-only offer of 10% off any vacation in 2018.
Hey, Bama fans. Tuscaloosa Drug Company is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide Athletics. We've been serving our community and the University Athletic Department for over a decade. There are 3 locations in the Tuscaloosa and Northport area to serve you. We understand the importance of prompt and efficient service. That's why we strive to provide service that you can rely on, where we know you by name. The next time you have a medication need, call who the Tide calls, Tuscaloosa Drug.
Along with Tyler Watson, Christian Miller, Chris Stewart back with you here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Golden Flake A-Day 2024. The white team, which is the offense, has scored on its first 2 possessions, a 14-0 lead. They'll run it left side, this time with the offense with Justice Haynes, and he will fight his way forward and see our first penalty flags come in. As they sort that out, we remind you to visit your local Toyota dealers or explore Toyota.com today. Take advantage of the deals on a full line of vehicles. No matter your destination, Toyota goes with you. Toyota, let's go places.
Well, the defense did a good job stopping on that little perimeter play that the offense ran from the first play of scrimmage today for about 30 or 40 yards. They did a good job of stopping it. It had a late face mask come in, so they'll tack on 15 more.
So after the penalty, they'll move it all the way up to the 45-yard line. Turned out at the end of the run, the additional yardage, making it a big pickup. And now here's Milroe operating from the pistol. He'll go play action to Haynes. Steps into the pocket, fires to the right side. He's got a man. Catch is made inside the 20, inside the 15. Still on his feet, 10-5, and down to the 2-yard line. What a catch and run after the fact by Bernard. Boy, the transfer from Washington, making an early impact in this spring game.
He drug all the way across the field, so it took good protection by that offensive line for the play to develop. And then he had a little push-off at the tail end, not enough to get called, but just enough to create separation, and that ball was dropped in on a dime.
Beautiful throw, great catch, great route, as you pointed out. Xavier Brown doing his best in coverage there, but a huge pickup of 53 yards. Thank you, Butch. And Bama will set up shop, the white team that is. First and goal from the 2-yard line. Single setback is Haynes. Behind the quarterback, Milroe gets the snap, hands it off. He'll look left. He'll pull forward, and he will get stacked up. He got to the 1, but no closer. Nice job there by the defense. Got a bunch of bodies in there. Damani Jackson being among them. And Justin Jefferson as well.
Well, this is where you love to see the good physical play on both sides of the scrimmage, though. Who's gonna be able to prevail?
Jackson, by the way, the transfer from USC, junior defensive back, excuse me. Handoff goes to Haynes again, walks into the end zone, and check that. It was not Haynes. Instead, it was Jam Miller, I believe. It was Miller, and that's 3 for 3 now for the offense, which, as you've talked about, it's great to see them execute, but then you go, all right, D, what's going on?
And a lot of it does have to go to game plan. Christian, I mean, these spring games, you watch, you play against each other every day, but there's no game plan out here.
No, there's typically a pretty vanilla game plan going into these games. You know, they're only going to call so many calls for each personnel grouping. You know, your regular group, you're going to have so many calls, nickel and et cetera. But, you know, the defense, I will say, they've got to hunker down and do a better job stopping the run right now. And I think that's the first thing they got to look at. Obviously, they've converted on some passes, the offense that is, but the defense has got to do a better job stopping the run, which that'll come. But when you look at this defense, you've got a lot of young guys on the field right now. You've got multiple true freshmen out there right now in the secondary. And not to mention, I don't think we covered the guys that are out, but Jaheim Otis, a big guy up front, as well as Jahad Campbell, your starting inside linebacker. Those guys are injured. So not making excuses for our defense, Tyler, but just got to throw that out there. We got some youth and a couple injured guys. Just got to throw that out there.
I'm not saying anything, but I'm saying I understand completely. Connor Talty converting the extra point. 6'1", 195, and a redshirt freshman from Chicago. Young man who saw a little action last year, kicked one extra point during the season. Now it's 21-0 in favor of the offense. Diller Lonigan becomes the third quarterback to see action. Daniel Hill to his right. Lonergan will fire across the middle. Catch is made. Tight end making the grab there up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. As C.J. Dupree, another one of those talented tight ends, Tyler, that we know can block as well as catch the football. It'll be interesting to see how they're used, as Lonergan will hand it off here. And the run game will again net about 4 yards on that play. Daniel Hill getting another carry up near the first down mark. 3rd and 1 upcoming.
Yeah, and to this point, Alabama on the first play on this drive, a little 5-yard gainer, immediately get back up, run a little bit of tempo, trying to take advantage. They get the defense back on their heels to set up a 3rd and short. Dylan Lonergan, a guy that we were highly excited about the progress he was making last season, although he never did get a chance to play, is now taking the reins here, and now he's going to get an opportunity, see what he can do.
3rd and a yard. Handoff goes to Hill. He'll work left side. He's got a first down and more. A gain of about 3 yards to the 39-yard line. That'll move the sticks for another first down for the Alabama offense. And again, our first downs presented by your local Toyota dealers. Hope that you'll visit them today. Toyota, let's go places.
Right now, the offensive line for both units is really dominating the line of scrimmage. They want to run the football for 2 or 3 yards. They're having no problems doing that.
Play action, rolling, throwing right side, and a wise decision there on the part of Lonergan. He had pressure coming from the edge. He also had an intended receiver that was well covered on the right side. He didn't waste any time making sure, let's just get 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Red Morgan, a guy that they're extremely excited about the progress that he is making and his ability to contribute. He came in hard off of the edge, and Lonergan wisely threw that one away quickly.
Richard Young now in the backfield. Single setback look. We've seen two men in the backfield at one time on a couple of plays, but we got a little motion there as the pass will be completed to Young, but Richard Young was leaning a little bit, and I think they got him for motion there as he knew he was about to catch a pass, and he was trying to get a running start. Only the second penalty flag I believe we've seen. Thought it'd be interesting to see everybody naturally doing some comparisons of the former and the current head coaches. And Kalen DeBoer dressed more like for practice, and he's got the hoodie, sweatshirt on, a thin sweatshirt on a very warm day, but ball cap. Coach Saban dressed as he normally was on A-Day. Had the blazer and the tie. As we talked about at the Open, now he's got the tough task. He's sitting watching the game next to Coach Terry. That's the one he'll be listening to a good bit as the pass is complete across the middle to Emmanuel Henderson Jr. A nice grab to the 40-yard line. How much stuff you think Miss Terry's putting into Coach Saban? He's going, why are you telling me I don't work here anymore? Third and about 8 upcoming for the offense. Defense trying to get off the field. They have forced 1 4th down, but the offense executed. It was on a 4th and 6. Here's a 3rd and 8, Pass complete to the right side. And that was Cole Adams again, and we expected him to be a somewhat popular target. You talked about him earlier, the redshirt freshman from Owasso, Oklahoma, played at Owasso High School. Couple of grabs last year. Picked Bama over Oklahoma, Arkansas, LSU, and Tennessee, at a top 30 national recruit at the wide receiver position. As the handoff will go to Hill, and he'll fight his way near the line of scrimmage, but
James Smith did a good job up on the defensive front, stuffing that play at the line of scrimmage.
Now we got a little discrepancy on whether it's second. It is 2nd and 9. First down came on the previous play. So we got a 2nd and 9 now. New running back in the ball game. J.R. Garner, sophomore at a Gulf Shores, as the pass goes to the right side, and it's complete to Robbie Utes, making his first grab here on Golden Flake A-Day. That's around the 45. It'll be 3rd and a couple upcoming.
Just a little stick route where free release to tight end, go about 4, 5, 6 yards, turn around, ball's delivered. That's a tough ask for a linebacker to be able to get out there that quickly, and every one of these tight ends has been able to run that successfully today.
First carry of the day for Garner, as we said, the Gulf Shores product, able to fight his way forward, got the first down, and they'll move the sticks again. Seeing a lot of different faces in the backfield, at wideout, at quarterback even. But exciting to see that the execution level has been at a high level regardless of who's been back there.
Everyone I'm playing within the system, doing what's asked of them, getting rid of the ball quickly. And these running backs here, as you mentioned, they've had some nice holes to run through, though.
Law goes in motion right side. The initial look to him, but now Lonergan will roll left, fires back across the middle. Catch made by Adams, and a big hit delivered. Biggest hit of the day so far in our Golden Flake A-Day. You talked about Bray Hubbard and his talent, but we saw he can hit pretty well too, and also that Cole Adams can take a pop pretty well. He hopped right back up after that was delivered.
And most importantly, held onto the ball.
Did indeed.
No doubt about that.
Another Toyota first down. Pass goes to the right side. Catch is made, and then working his way out of bounds. That is Caleb Odom. Made his first grab.
He's a big, tall body.
That's listed as a tight end, but able to split him wide.
I think that they've actually converted him over to the wider, or that they anticipate that's where his future is.
Definitely where he was lined up on the last two plays. As the handoff goes to Hill, he'll spin forward on top of a pile of tacklers, but Peyton Yates was able to bring him down. Actually, Sterling Dixon, the linebacker, able to make the stop.
I'm pulling for the defense. I want to see a stop.
Christian, are you buying that from Tyler Watts?
I'm not buying that. I know
didn't think so.
I for sure want to see a stop. I think we got one right here, guys. I think the twos are going to step up right
Christian, sometimes you feel sorry for your opponent. You just want a game.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Dang, that
It
cuts deep, Tyler.
it gets boring.
Yeah, right.
That cuts deep.
Yeah.
Well, we got a timeout here, so maybe we'll go to the drawing board. We'll come up. Maybe we can get a turnover. That would be nice. That'll put points on the board for us.
There's time for you to get to the booth and catch up with Tyler on that last statement, too, if you want to. They're down at about 3 upcoming. And we're going to keep it right here as it takes place. And Christian, from a defensive standpoint, you know how fans are. There'll be some panic set in. Uh-oh, the offense is cut through them like a hot knife through butter. But what are you seeing from the defense overall?
Well, Chris, I mean, I'm seeing what everybody's seeing, and the offense is really just, driving the ball downfield. They're able to run the ball. And like I said previously, Chris, we've got to do a better job stopping the run first and foremost. And then when we're dropping back in coverage, and if we're playing zone, you got to get to your zone, but then you got to read and react. You got to break on those passes and make those tackles. That's another thing is our tackling probably needs to be cleaned up, but to your point, the thing is, it's just spring, and these guys are still learning. At the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of changes that are made in the offseason. These guys are going to get better. They're going to hit the drawing board. So I urge people that are watching and that might be a little nervous watching the defense right now, just understand that these guys are going to have a lot more time to get to work and get better.
There's also not a whole lot of scheming going on right now, as you guys have pointed out. We'll have a chance to match X's and O's from that defensive side a little better in a regular game as Lonergan pitches it right side. Henderson turning the corner and picking up nice yardage. Lost the ball, but he was well out of bounds when he did so. They'll spot Emmanuel Henderson, around the 7-yard line. That'll be enough to move the chains. And from the 6-yard line, it'll be 1st and goal for the white team. That is the offense with Lonergan at quarterback. He will hand it off. Bouncing it to the right is Hill, but he's going to get stacked up, and that's a nice job of staying with a play by the Bama defense. A number of crimson jerseys there, but Edric Hill, the defensive lineman, was the first one to greet him.
There was nowhere to go with that football, and amazing he was able to stay on his feet as long as he did. And Dylan Lonergan was the only guy out there that could have helped him with a block, and he wasn't sticking his nose down.
Loss of a yard or two. J.R. Gardner now in the game, the sophomore back at running back. Lonergan looking, firing towards the back of the end zone. That pass is incomplete. Kind of a timing route there, wasn't it? Trying to connect with a tight end in Danny Lewis.
Well, you get the one-on-one look against a linebacker. You had Caden Jones in coverage, and that's a mismatch. That's where the height wins. The ball, Danny Lewis knows where the ball is coming, and you throw it high and outside and hope that he can snag it down. He's just a little bit off balance and wasn't able to turn his body quite enough, but that's where the ball needed to be delivered. Dylan Lonergan recognized the coverage, knew where his mismatch was, and immediately got rid of the football.
3rd and goal from the 9. Lonergan fires. Man is there, but it's broken up. Pass was slightly behind the intended receiver, Dupree, but also a great job in coverage by Peyton Woodyard, the defensive back. Again, not a perfect throw, but the DB doesn't get the hand in there. That's still going to be 6.
Yeah, and that's kind of the difference, too, between a linebacker going out in coverage on the previous play. Now you have a defensive back. Ball was thrown behind. Otherwise, it probably is a touchdown. And that's just a ton of pressure. And these one-on-ones down inside the goal line, those little seam routes, that's where you can really exploit a defense.
Schuback on to try field goal of 27 yards. Plenty of leg, and the kick is up, and it is good. Again, no rush on these kicks. Nealon Hibbett, the snapper, executing perfectly, and that'll be 3 points on the board as usual for the offense. 24-0. They lead the defense, but a semi-stop for the defensive unit. First time that the offense has been held out of the end zone. Alabama men's basketball team being recognized on the video boards right now. First Final Four participants in Alabama men's basketball history. Coach Nate Oates and company being recognized on the field. As we take this break, we're back with more Golden Flake A-Day in a moment on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Yo le diría a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo se nota diferente, podría ser Alzheimer. Es momento de hablarlo. Visita alz.org/, nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de The Alzheimer's Association y The Ad Council.
Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Termites attack the Centricon stations, exposing themselves to an agent that eliminates their entire colony. Upgrade from old-fashioned liquid service to the proven protection of Centricon and Cook's Pest Control. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie. Cook's Pest Control.
Never back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Today's 2024 Golden Flake 8A game is presented by Toyota, Cook's Pest Control, Everwood Treatment Company, Brett Robinson Vacation Rentals, and Mercedes-Benz. Chris Stewart, Tyler Watts, Christian Miller back with you at Bryant-Denny Stadium. The Golden Flake 8A game continues on. We're in the first quarter. I think we've got a 24-0 lead for the offense, and another big play. This one across the middle. Ty Simpson with a beautiful pass to Kobe Prentice, the junior from Calera, Alabama. Had some good moments the last 2 years, but expected, as most players do, going from sophomore to junior, to have a greater level of participation.
Yeah, awfully quick. Of course, working the entire field once again, going from right to left, crossing the formation, finding another soft hole in this defensive zone coverage.
25 yards on the pickup, right to the midfield stripe. Simpson, who's looked good here early, will hand it off. Big run left side. 35-30, 20, 15, 10, 5, and down to the 1 yard line. On the run once again, Jam Miller, the junior from Tyler, Texas, and Legacy High School. 49 yards on that carry.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson had him dead to right in the hole, and he did a little shuffle step and was able to sidestep and sprint forward.
Christian, what are you seeing?
Unfortunately, Chris, there's just too many open areas, and we're dropping in our coverage, which, again, these guys are, to their credit, they are adjusting to this defense. I talked about the differences from what they're used to, and so these new defenses, there's new coverage principles. So there's going to take some adjustments that you'll see where they're trying to feel this thing out. But, again, it's just a matter of trying to feel those zones out and not, melting too much, but getting to your zone and trying to feel out these routes as well. But ultimately, you got to again, I know we got a basic game plan today, but you got to just say, all right, man, we got to line up, and I got to beat the guy in front of me.
Defense does get a stop there, even though Ty Simpson spun and worked his way into the end zone. He was touched back at the 4 yard line, and quarterbacks are down by contact. Wearing the black jerseys, they are not eligible to be tattooed in a game like this, so they're going to be down upon contact, and so it's a loss of a couple back to the 4. Jam Miller, the single setback behind Simpson with 2 wideouts right, 1 left. Tight end offset to the right side of the formation as well. They'll bunch guys in to the right side, and then they will hand it off. Miller, though, will bounce it left. He'll get to the edge. He'll get to the goal line, and he'll get into the end zone for another touchdown for the white team. The offense has had it 5 times now, or 4 times, excuse me. No, it is 5 times, and they have had points every time. 4 touchdowns, and now a field goal we saw earlier. Elijah Pritchett running interference along that left side, opening up the hole for Miller.
And so many explosive plays thus far also. Not to keep harping on it, but definitely a lot of work by this defensive unit. I mean, it's one thing to give up points, but on the chunk plays, the way that this offense has been able to move is a little bit concerning or exciting.
Reed Harradine kicks through the extra point. And it is 31-0. The defense still looking for its first points. We'll tell you about how they can get those points when we come back. Again, 31-0 offense. The white team looking good here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Bama fans, remember, Sports Collectibles offers authentic Bama memorabilia and collectibles including autographed items and framed jerseys. All signed items carry a certificate of authenticity and a 100% money-back guarantee. Visit them inside Bryant-Denny Stadium on game day or anytime online at sportscollectibles.com. First down play results in an incompletion. Austin Mack, the new quarterback, in with Sam Willoughby, the intended receiver. Michael Larino, the running back, behind and now to the right side after the shift of Mack, the redshirt freshman from Loomis, California. Pass fired out to the right side and at the feet of the intended receiver. That was one of the tight ends, Ty Lockwood, out of Thompson Station, Tennessee. So the incomplete pass there.
Yeah, Austin Mack needed to make a little bit of adjustments. First two passes low, bring it up another yard, and that's two completions.
So 3rd and 10 upcoming. Defense looking for its first 3 and out. Looking for its first points that would come with that. Looking, and down back at the 19-yard line. Will once again be the young quarterback in Austin Mack. It was Baker Hickman that got there and created the problem, resulting in now a 4th down and 10. So no punts in this ball game. Darian Claiborne is the running back. Handoff will go to him. Claiborne will be spun around, try to stay on his feet, but he'll be brought down after a gain of a couple, and so that will be the first stop. Or did they do a reset of downs? They did. I'm sorry. You're exactly right.
Defense still gets the points, though.
They did get the points for a 3 and out. That's exactly right. And now the offense starts over with a fresh set of downs, so only a gain of a couple. So finally points on the board. 3 points for the defense. Now a 31-3 score. Darian Claiborne, the running back again, to the left of Mack, who will step up in the pocket, and he will run forward, and they're going to spot him down actually back at the 28, so no gain on the play, but he did get back to the original line of scrimmage. Caden Jones, the linebacker, there to down him. And we had a flag come in that's going to back it up. 10 yards, I believe. Yep, back to the, actually 5 yards from the previous line of scrimmage. So they are at the 17 now is the white team. We got second and a bunch upcoming. Laredo back in at running back. The junior from Mountain Brook High School, or a walk-on for the Tide, as rolling to his right will be Mack with pressure coming, and he's going to be down back around the 5 or 6 yard line. A great play. Nolan Asbury was able to make the stop.
He shot through the left line of scrimmage quickly, completely untouched, and was able to get back to Austin Mack. No pressure, or excuse me, tons of pressure immediately at the snap of the ball.
Asbury, a junior from Mobile, played at Davidson High School. As now it'll be third. And goodness, 25 for a first down. Mack getting the low snap. Dumps it off to Laredo left side. He'll get across the 15 to about the 17-yard line. But that's going to be well shy of what's needed for the first down. So I would assume that'll be another 3 and out, and it is for the Bama defense. That's a good sign. They've gotten back-to-back 3 and outs and make it a 31-6 score. Again, in our little bit uncommon scoring system. Got a timeout on the field, and I believe that is technically between quarters that we're looking at now. So as close as we're going to have between quarters. So help me out, Tom. We're taking a break right here. I guess we are. We'll do that. We're back in a couple of minutes. It's a 31-6 score. The offense looking really good. The defense looking better. It's Golden Flake A-Day here in Tuscaloosa. The first for Kalen DeBoer as the head coach of the Crimson Tide, and we're glad you're with us on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Makari Doggett from Alabama Gymnastics. Winter is a time when viruses that cause respiratory disease circulate more heavily in our community. Vaccination against RSV, flu, and COVID-19 is important for everyone, especially for those who are at higher risk of developing serious complications, including older Americans and those with medical conditions. So, don't wait, vaccinate. Ask your medical provider for more information on how you can protect yourself from respiratory illnesses. For more information on vaccinations, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMN. Stay safe and roll Tide.
We're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Nuke's Eatery is a family-rooted quality kitchen where those seeking high-quality, feel-good comforts will find just what they're looking for. At Nuke's, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit Nuke's Eatery locally in Tuscaloosa on University Boulevard or order online from the Nuke's Eatery nearest you at nukes.com. That's NEWKS.com. Nuke's Eatery always rolls with the tide.
Hey there, Alabama Alabama fans, Shoe Station is your one-stop shop for style for the whole family. With 12 stores across Alabama, including our latest edition in Gadsden, Shoe Station is bringing the style and comfort. Head into any of our stores and explore our selection of over 30,000 pairs of shoes from top brands like Hoka, Hey Dude, Brooks, and so much more. No matter the occasion, Shoe Station has something for everyone. So why wait? Visit Shoe Station today and find your perfect fit.
Hey Tide fans, it's time to watch the Alabama Crimson Tide roll. Whether you watch from home, at your tailgate, or in the stadium, you can enjoy the great taste of Ziegler Jumbo Franks, the official hot dog of the Crimson Tide. Alabama has a tradition of winning, and Ziegler has a tradition of great taste. Enjoy your Ziegler Jumbo Franks at home, at the tailgate, and now at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Ziegler Meats, a tradition of great taste for over 90 years. Pick them up at your local supermarket.
Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Termites attack the Centricon stations, exposing themselves to an agent that eliminates their entire colony. Upgrade from old-fashioned liquid service to the proven protection of Centricon and Cook's Pest Control. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Enjoy the simple southern goodness of Golden Flake, the official potato chip of the Crimson Tide and today's 2024 Golden Flake 8A game. Toyota halftime report is something we do with great frequency during the college football season. Today, with a little bit different format, we're just going to remind you that the Toyota halftime report is coming up during the regular season, and we'll try to feed you some numbers as we go along here. But, Tyler, what we do know is the offense has looked really sharp in a 31-6 advantage over the defense. Again, the scoring somewhat different, 3 and out. Nets you 3 points for the defense. The same scoring as usual for the offense. We are going to have a kickoff now to officially begin half number 2 as Upton Belafont will kick it off. And Jalen Mbakwe is deep. But, again, there is nobody to block for him, so he will simply field it. All right, and flip it to the official. Again, basically skeletal type work for the kicking game today. Nowhere near what you would normally see in terms of live action, but do you make contact on the kick, and do you make sure you don't drop it on the return? Those are good starting points. They will spot it all the way up at the 40, though. And Jalen Milroe getting basically, I believe, his third series at quarterback. He'll have Bernard and Law, 2 of the 3 wideouts to the right side of the formation. The handoff will go to Jam Miller, and he will cut it to his left and pick up a yard, maybe 2 on the play at the most.
Much better job, though, by the defensive front, setting the edge. Deontay Lawson was coming in from the backside, closing in the cutback lanes. So much better adjustment up front by Alabama.
Tim Keenan III leading the charge there defensively.
Johnny Coote also on that side. I've been waiting for him to get an opportunity to get out on the field.
Miller again, the setback to the left of his quarterback Milroe as Law goes in motion to the right side of the formation. Looking is Milroe. He's going to go downfield. He's got a man down there, but it's going to be incomplete. He was trying to connect with Law down the right sideline, but there was good coverage from the Bama secondary. Keon Sabb, the transfer from Michigan, 6'1", 200-pound junior from Glassboro, New Jersey. Played his prep ball at IMG Academy and then went to the University of Michigan, but now playing for the Crimson Tide, and we are glad that that is the case. Third and right at 9 to go for a first down with Young, the single setback to the right of Milroe. Getting the snap, stepping to the right to avoid the pressure, stops, looks, and a flag is down as he threw that one out of bounds on purpose. And there is going to be, I believe, a hold on the Bama offense. Haven't said this I don't think ever before for an Alabama defender, but we got a number 0 out there. Deontay Lawson, the linebacker at 0 for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, I don't know how that sits yet. I gotta digest on that a little while. I'm not used to the zeros.
What's the matter? You're not going to get off my lawn,
no,
are you?
Not
okay. I'm just asking. You've earned the right.
He can stay on my lawn.
That's
okay?
right.
Deontay can trespass all he wants to. I'm not going to say a word. Tim Smith, though, did an outstanding job on the previous play. He beat Elijah Pritchett at that left tackle, and he's the one that got called for the holding.
So 3 and out for the defense. And so they now have 3 stops in a row. That gives them 9 points. Here's Dylan Lonergan at quarterback. Fires the pass right side. Emmanuel Henderson Jr. able to make the grab and pick up good yardage across the 45 to about the 47, a gain of 8 on the play. 48, actually. Just
one more thought on you talked about Deontay Lawson changing to 0. A couple other guys that have changed around really. It's going to take me a minute. Jamarian Latham, he goes from the 90s down to number 20 now. And then also Jaheim Otis, as you mentioned earlier, no longer a 90s number as defensive lineman, but chose 10.
Daniel Hill getting the carry right side, but nowhere to go. He's going to lose a couple on the play. Christian Miller, what you got for us?
Well, I finally got a good update for you guys.
Let's hear it.
The defense had a come-to-Jesus meeting on the sideline after they weren't too pleased by the first few series, and we just saw the ones come up with the big 3 and some points on the board, and now we're seeing the 2s do a nice job so far, and I think it is 3rd down, so we'll see if they can get a stop. But Tyler, we're coming back now. Keep watching that scoreboard. We got time.
Were you leading the Come to Jesus meeting? That's the question. Lonergan fires a pass that's in and out of the hands of Adams. The pass was well behind and did a good job just trying to keep it alive long enough to snare it. Couldn't bring it in, but it will be more points upcoming, I believe, unless they let them go for it right here on 4th down.
Surely not on this side of the field.
Nope, wouldn't think so, and it is another 3 and out. So there you go, Christian. I think you got them talked up down there, and that's 4 straight stops.
They might have heard I didn't have too many positives early on, but look, they're playing a lot better. That's all. Sometimes you just got to get your feet underneath you. There are a lot of fans here. It feels like a game day atmosphere, so it looks like they've kind of shook some of those nerves off, and they're playing the way that we know that they can play.
I haven't heard a number yet, but we're, again, guessing. Have you heard one, Tyler?
They announced 72,000 plus, 10
wow.
something.
How many colleges across the country will not come close to 72,000 for a regular season game? And on a picture-perfect day, 72,000 have showed up to see Kalen DeBoer's first Crimson Tide take part in this scrimmage on Golden Flake 8A. Milroe back at quarterback with Richard Young in the backfield, shifting to his left. Getting the shotgun snap, he'll hand it off. Young will get across the 40 to the 41, a gain of a yard on the play before Tim Keenan is again there for the stop. 83 degrees on this gorgeous Saturday, and again, not a cloud to be found.
Really, first time we've called Tim Keenan's name, and he was a guy that really developed into a great player last year on that defensive front for Alabama. Set the tone in the A gaps, preventing teams from running between the guards. Expecting big things out of him. Ooh, Deontay Lawson closed in quick.
He did on Emmanuel Henderson, who initially made the grab. Actually, Rich Young, excuse me, that one's going to be called incomplete. And it was Young out of the backfield. But you won't get to be old if you take many hits like that, Christian. Boy, really seeing some impressive play from Deontay Lawson as of late.
We really are, and I mean, that's one thing about him. Deontay Lawson's got great range. He can cover, sideline to sideline. You saw his closing speed right there, and that's exactly how you have to play. When you're playing this type of zone defense, you got to break and react like that, and that's exactly what he did. And almost a turnover right there by the defense. So I'm telling you guys, that come to Jesus meeting they had on the sideline. Sometimes you got to have those. Last season those guys had something like that after the loss to Texas, and then we saw them turn it around. So they had a mini version of that on the sideline, and we're seeing the defense step up big, and these guys are finally celebrating over here.
Xavier Brown almost got the pick of the pass intended for Jaron Hamilton, the wideout, but couldn't quite hang on to it. If he picks that one, he's going to go to the house with it, but instead it is a break up and sets up a 4th down, so another 3 and out, and that's now 15 points for that Bama defense.
And that's the fine line, though, between continuing a drive or potentially even turning it into points for the defense. It's a well-thrown ball. The ball hit him in the hands, and then he fumbled it at the last second. He catches it and secures it. It's a first down. The drive continues. And very fortunate, quite honestly, for the offense that ball was not intercepted in return.
Timeout on the field. We'll take the break with them. 31-15 now our score on our Golden Flake 8A game from Tuscaloosa on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Hey, Bama fans. Tuscaloosa Drug Company is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide Athletics. We've been serving our community and the University Athletic Department for over a decade. There are 3 locations in the Tuscaloosa and Northport area to serve you. We understand the importance of prompt and efficient service. That's why we strive to provide service that you can rely on, where we know you by name. The next time you have a medication need, call who the Tide calls, Tuscaloosa Drug.
Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Termites attack the Centricon stations, exposing themselves to an agent that eliminates their entire colony. Upgrade from old-fashioned liquid service to the proven protection of Centricon and Cook's Pest Control. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Second down play upcoming for the Alabama offense on our Golden Flake A-Day scrimmage. Second half action and a handoff going to Kendrick Law coming around the right side. He takes off down the far boundary and gets pushed out of bounds near the 10-yard line. A heck of a run, Kendrick Law. Christian Miller, what do you got for us on our Cook's Pest Control sideline reports?
Chris, I'm joined by Q Robinson now. Q, you just had a few big stops on the defensive side of things after a little bit of a slow start. What kind of adjustments did you guys make?
We had to pick up the intensity. I don't think we did anything wrong as far as like the plays and messing anything up with our gap assignments. I just think we need to come back out with more intensity, or either match it or go higher with their intensity.
No doubt. Thanks, Q.
Thank you, Q. Thank you also, Christian, as now the quarterback, Austin Mack, weaves his way through a little bit of traffic, and again, down by contact. It'll be a gain of about 5 on the play before Walter Sansing gets credit for the stop. Get those on-the-field reports presented by Cook's Pest Control and Centricon, the unbeatable combination in termite protection. 31-15, the offense leading the defense, but after 5 consecutive stops, going back to the end of the first half, the offense starting to get some things going. Pass goes to the left side and pushing his way toward the 10-yard line. Ty Lockwood, the tight end. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Operating from the pistol formation, the handoff will go right up the middle, and Richard Young gets the carry there for a gain of a couple. Fans, Tuscaloosa is where the Tide rolls all year long. Visit Tuscaloosa is your go-to resource for all things happening in our great city. Check out all the upcoming events at visittuscaloosa.com. Kalen DeBoer out on the field, getting an up-close look at what's happening in his first Golden Flake A-Day game here in Tuscaloosa.
All right, defense gets an opportunity right here. 4th and 1.
It is 4th and 1 from the 11. Christian Miller pulling for another stop down there. Oh, and you got a bad snap. There is an early snap. The play will continue, and it's going to be picked off in the end zone. You had a snap that came when the quarterback wasn't expecting it. A heck of a reaction on the part of Austin Mack. But then he picked up the loose football, and then Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. got the interception. Let's see if they blow the play dead, though, Tyler. What did you say?
Well, we're going to have offsides on the defense. Could have also called a sack on the play. But regardless, it's going to be a 5-yard mark off against the defense.
Wow. Now we all feel old after hearing that Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. just made the stop for the pick, even though it's going to be wiped off. Yes, the son of the former standout DB, part of Coach Saban's earliest teams at Alabama. Standout for the Crimson Tide. So a 1st and goal now from the 5-yard line. J.R. Gardner in the backfield to the left of Mack. Bubba Hampton is a wide out. Actually a tight end on the left side. They flip it to the man coming to the left side, and he'll run near the pylon. Didn't quite get in, though. Bubba Hampton was the man who was trying to get to the pylon, couldn't quite get in. And it'll be 2nd and goal from just outside the end zone. Heck of a play there defensively, as I believe that one once again came from Hamilton, as the stop is made for a loss of a play, a loss of a yard on that particular play. James Smith making the stop. Let's go back to the previous play. I was trying to get you the right name, and that was actually Jeremiah Alexander. Forgive me. The linebacker who'd made the stop.
That little speed sweep, jet sweep, whatever, that we have witnessed that probably handful of times today. So if that's any indicator, they're going to put a lot of pressure on defenses to run lateral and get sideline to sideline. And I'll tell you what's really been impressive, though, is the blocking on the perimeter by these receivers.
Timeout on the field. And we will take the break with them. Again, our coverage of Golden Flake A-Day brought to you in part by Toyota, Cook's Pest Control, Everwood Treatment Company, Brett Robinson Vacation Rentals, and Mercedes-Benz. We're back after this on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Brett Robinson Vacation Rentals invites you to soak up the sun, sand, and surf on Alabama's Gulf Coast at www.rolltidebeach.com. Our coastal properties in Gulf Shores and Orange Beach are less than a 5-hour drive from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Sugar white sand beaches and emerald water are waiting for you. And don't forget, our condo amenities include lazy rivers, indoor and outdoor pools, and great Gulf views. Check out www.rolltidebeach.com for a special Bama-only offer of 10% off any vacation in 2018.
Hey Tide fans, it's time to watch the Alabama Crimson Tide roll. Whether you watch from home, at your tailgate, or in the stadium, you can enjoy the great taste of Ziegler Jumbo Franks, the official hot dog of the Crimson Tide. Alabama has a tradition of winning, and Ziegler has a tradition of great taste. Enjoy your Ziegler Jumbo Franks at home, at the tailgate, and now at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Ziegler Meats, a tradition of great taste for over 90 years. Pick them up at your local supermarket.
Third and goal upcoming from the 5-yard line for the Alabama offense, wearing white against the Crimson team, which is, of course, the defensive side. Quick toss goes left side, and Hill is going to get stacked up. He will get a yard at the most. And quite a scramble at the end of the play. He came squirting out of the pile and got into the end zone, but I think the play had already been blown dead. Again, we call the name of Jeremiah Alexander first. He's among those, along with Bray Hubbard, to get in there and make a hit for the defense.
Yeah, heck of a stand there after negating the interception because of the offside penalty on the fourth down on the previous possession, but doing a good job of stiffening up, not allowing Alabama to run between the tackles down inside the 5-yard line.
Upton Belafonte on to try the field goal of about 23 yards. Neelan Hibbett is the snapper, and the hold from Cole Adams upcoming. Snap and spot are good. The kick is up, and with no rush coming, the kick is perfect. 22 yards, they call it officially, or at least that's what Tony Giles called it. By golly, that's official enough for me. 34-15 as the offense scores for the first time in about 6 series. That's been really good for the defense. And again, if you're just joining us, you don't have Crimson versus White traditionally with 2 separate teams split up. It's offense, all wearing white. The Crimson team is the defense, and you get points based off stops if you're the defense, and the traditional scoring for the offense.
And right now is exactly why you do it in this particular format. Now Ty Simpson will come in and work with the first unit offense, so it's interchangeable. You can get different looks with personnels and see what they can do, because it's not always just about your performance, it's about the surrounding cast as well, and sometimes you're getting opportunities when the guys around you are doing things correctly.
Kalen DeBoer said, look, I'm not married to this type of format in future A-days. This is just what I wanted to do today to maximize for my first club, getting the best look at everybody that I could, as Simpson at quarterback will fire it out right side. Catch is made. Kobe Prentice getting a gain of about 3 on the play. Actually, they're going to spot him back for only a gain of a couple, so 2nd and 8 upcoming.
So that's kind of a win for everybody. Ty Simpson didn't force the ball down the field. He hit his check down, and the defense rallied out of that zone coverage to come up and make it a short gain.
Jam Miller shifts from the right side of Simpson to his left, and the handoff will go to him, and he will get stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Deontay Lawson again, the first one there to greet him.
That's more like it. I like it when the defense takes away the run between the tackles. They're explosive up front, maintaining that line of scrimmage, not allowing the O-line to give it any sort of push whatsoever. Then the linebackers are coming in and cleaning it up.
Chris, you want to bring you in just a second after this play, get your thoughts on maybe what we're seeing from the offense in terms of play calling this half as opposed to what we saw early on maybe the first 5 or 6 series, as Simpson will operate from the pistol. Got time, looking downfield, has to spin away from traffic, goes to his left, gets a couple of nice blocks, then unloads a pass that's going to be caught in traffic across the 45 to about the 46-yard line. A nice catch made from Kendrick Law, I believe, may actually have been Caleb Odom, but no, I think it was indeed actually Kendrick Law making a 6-yard pickup on the play. 4th and about 3 upcoming. Christian, are you seeing more of a base or vanilla look from the offense minus that last play as opposed to what we saw the first 5 or 6 series?
Yeah, Chris, it might look like they might have dialed it back just a little bit, but I think what stands out to me, and it might just be I have these defensive eyes, right, that I see a lot more intensity, and that's what Q was talking about it looks like the defense has really picked it up. They picked up their energy, and they're really getting after it. Tyler talked about the knockback that they're getting up front, and now they're playing everything deep to short. They're breaking on the football, and they're doing a nice job tackling. That was one thing I noticed in the first half. The defense is struggling to secure those tackles, but so far they've cleaned up so much more. So the offense probably did dial it back some, but I'm really liking the way that the defense is executing right now.
The defense gets 3 more points, so it's now 34-18. Jalen Milroe back at quarterback. He'll send Emmanuel Henderson in motion to the left side, and then he will roll to his right, and the pass is incomplete. He was trying to connect with Richard Young out of the backfield, but the second-year freshman was not able to bring it in. A pass a little bit underthrown.
Well, but if he doesn't overthrow that and throw it behind him, then Damani Jackson probably lights him up coming out of the backfield. So that was really not a poor throw because you're protecting your running back.
Self-preservation incompletion?
I don't want to hear it about it when you come back to the huddle.
Gotcha. Young still in the backfield. He is behind Milroe, operating from the pistol. Straight handoff to him, and there is nowhere to go. Again, the defense up the middle doing a nice job clogging things up. Justin Jefferson, the linebacker, stepping up. They can hit a lot of names that we didn't call a ton of last year, but not a shock that we're doing that here in spring.
Your entire secondary is brand new. A lot of new faces up front. Linebacker core is really the only thing that has been consistent from year to year.
3rd and 9, actually, for Milroe and company. Single set back to his left with 3 wideouts right. Milroe stepping up, goes to his right now, buying himself some time. Pressure coming from the backside, and they're going to spot him down back around the 35-yard line. So that'll be another stop and 3 and out for the defense. Terrence Howard was the man chasing Milroe and did what a lot of people couldn't do last year, and that's catch him.
Yeah, that was also Q Robinson there coming out, utilizing that speed. And how many times, Christian always talks about this, he was in that rabbit package, predator, whatever they called it last year, where a ton of speed was on the field at the same time, and that is exactly the reason why he possesses the ability to close the gap quickly, even on fast quarterbacks.
Christian, what have you got, buddy?
Yeah, and that's why I'm excited for Q Robinson this year, because he's going to get that opportunity to really play more meaningful snaps at the edge position. And you guys know, you lose 2 talented guys on the edge, Chris Braswell, Dallas Turner. That's a lot of production that you've got to replace, but you got to feel good about a guy in Q Robinson who's had some snaps in that 3rd down Raptors package that Tyler referenced, and now he's finally stepping up, as well as Keanu Code, who's another really good athlete.
Stepping up will be J.R. Gardner to the right of Austin Mack, the quarterback, and thought we're going to have a face mask, and actually we do have a flag down. And I think Gardner had the face mask grabbed around the 40-yard line. Guys, I want your thoughts on this. I kind of like now that we've kind of got a little handle on what we're doing here scoring-wise, I kind of like it because it keeps the pace going a little quicker than you might normally have with just the teams split up going offense, defense, or crimson versus white in the traditional sense.
There's nothing wrong with it. I kind of think the defense should get more points for a stop, for a 3 and out, and or forcing a field goal. I think field goals ought to be no points.
Let the record show, Christian, it was the quarterback who was pleading the case for your defensive side there.
I was going to say, I'm impressed. He took the words out of my mouth. I feel like we could use a few more points, but hey, we're stacking them up slowly but surely.
Mack dumping it off to his tight end to the right side of the formation, and that'll be Adam Thorsland, senior from Walhalla, South Carolina. 6'5", 232, and a senior.
Sterling Dixon made the tackle.
Garner back in. Again, it's 34-21 in our scoring system, and no clock running on the board. We're on DeBoer time here, which seems very familiar. Low snap, picked up nicely by Mack, and then getting out of bounds after making the grab was once again Garner. He'll get close to that 1st down mark. I don't know. I believe Austin Mack was a pretty good baseball player. He certainly looks like a shortstop. Yeah. Man, he has fielded some low snaps really smooth.
That's not good.
And made some good plays. No, but we've learned last year that can be important at times.
A couple of touchdowns came off of those low snaps over the course of the season. Hopefully that's not something we see over and over. But and it has not been throughout the course of this spring. But to your point, Matt doing a good job fielding the ball. That's your number one job as a quarterback, is to put the ball in play and then distribute it as needed.
2 wideouts right, 2 left, and actually the tight end Thorsland will come in tight to the right side. As play action, Mack will roll to his right, fires incomplete, just unloading that one as the pressure was coming for the edge. Nobody there, and just trying to get to second down as Lane Wisnant, the linebacker, and Jeremiah Beeman were providing the pressure.
I'm not sure if that was supposed to be a screen or what, but there were no wide receivers to the right side of the line of scrimmage where Austin Mack was throwing that football away, but he had tons of pressure coming from that right side.
Second down and 10. Mack will keep it himself, but nowhere to go. Gets wrapped up on a nice play by Curtis Perry, defensive lineman. The Crimson Tide. Perry's out of Pike Road, Alabama, and around Montgomery, the third-year sophomore this season, 6'2", 265. And another third down attempt upcoming. Third and about a dozen. Handoff goes right up the middle. Lorino getting the carry. And the Mountain Brook product will get inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. It'll be fourth down.
That's still important yardage, though, because now you set yourself up with an opportunity to potentially go for the first down conversion. But you know what? I like this right here. We're going to kick a field goal. Let's see what kind of leg we have.
We're going to have field goal attempt upcoming, and then we're going to send it down to our Cooks Pest Control sideline reporter, Christian Miller, as Connor Talty will come on to try the field goal. Almost middle of the hash, or between the hashes, I should say. What will be a 46-yard try. Kick is up, has enough leg, but it is wide right. It's no good. We called the name earlier on a play of Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. Christian Miller has caught up with Dre Sr. down on the field.
Chris, I'm joined with Dre Kirkpatrick. Obviously, you played a whole bunch of football here in this stadium, and you left your mark, but now you get to watch your son do it. Tell me the emotions that you felt seeing him catch that interception early.
It was an unsurreal feeling, bro. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I made a couple plays here. I never made an interception doing 8A. So for him, he got one up on Pops, man. That's one thing that I am excited for. I didn't show a lot of emotion because I feel like I always tell him, bro, act like you've been there. So I just want to feel like, you know what I'm saying, if the camera was watching, I acted like I've been here before.
That's right. Appreciate it, Dre.
Yeah, no doubt.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Dre. And we're taking a break, coming back with more. It's 34-23. Defense getting 2 points on that stop. We're back after this on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, son. How are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it. Navigating without a compass, eyes waiting, started to wonder. Metamorphosis, loss of who you thought you is.
When your kid can't find the language, help them find the lyrics. Listen to the Sound It Out album and get tips and tools to start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Nuke's Eatery is a family-rooted quality kitchen where those seeking high-quality, feel-good comforts will find just what they're looking for. At Nuke's, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit Nuke's Eatery locally in Tuscaloosa on University Boulevard or order online from the Nuke's Eatery nearest you at nukes.com. That's NEWKS.com. Nuke's Eatery always rolls with the tide.
Chris Stewart, Tyler Watts, Christian Miller back with you here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Illegal procedure, the call against basically the first team Alabama offense. If you're just joining us, our 2024 Golden Flake 8A game here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. We've got a 34-23 score in essence. Defense versus offense. The offense gets the regular scoring system. Defense getting points for 3-and-out stops. They get 3 points for those 3-and-outs and some other scoring opportunities as well. Had a penalty just there, 5 yards for procedure on the offense, backing him up to the 30. Milroe, the quarterback, with plenty of time, fires across the middle, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Emmanuel Henderson Jr. not able to reel that one in. And it'll be 2nd and 15 upcoming. Could have gotten a good chunk of it back right there.
Yeah, and that's the ball that has to be called. Emmanuel Henderson will tell you that too. It was thrown just a hair behind him, but you're not. Once again, you're not trying to lead in this zone concept. You don't want to lead your receivers into coverage. It's a ball thrown where it needed to be. Hit him in the hands. He should have brought it down.
On 2nd and 15, the handoff goes to Jam Miller around the right edge. He'll get a yard, maybe 2, before he gets forced out of bounds. Damon Payne Jr. leading the way. Big number 44 rambling over there to force him to the boundary.
Yeah, this defense has done a much better job in the second half of controlling the line of scrimmage, not allowing the offense to run between the tackles near as successful as they were in the first half.
3rd down upcoming. Got to get to the 45. Milroe's pass is going to be caught shy of the 1st down mark, but a great grab in some traffic there. As making the grab was Josh Cuevas.
But the ball was thrown on time. It was a nice throw by Jalen Milrose, getting rid of it as the receiver, as his tight end was coming around, hooking around that zone defender to find the open window. The ball was thrown where it needed to be on time. And it's not enough to move the chains, but still, that's the progression that these coaches are looking for. Are you making the right decision, and you do it in a timely manner?
Cuevas, another transfer, and another that came from the University of Washington. Junior from Los Angeles. Started his career at Cal Poly, then went to UW, and now makes his way to UA. 34-26 after the defense gets another stop, and we take another break here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
With the offense leading the defense 34-26. We continue on with Golden Flake 8A 2024. Ty Simpson stepping up in the pocket as quarterback, fires downfield. He's got a man, catch is made, and falling out of bounds is Jeremy Bernard, the Las Vegas native and another transfer from Washington. Moves the chains for a big pickup of 33 yards on the play.
Yeah, one thing about these zone concepts, though, the longer the play develops, the tougher it is for these defenders to stay in coverage on these wide receivers. The receivers are going to get open.
Shotgun snap goes to Simpson. Pressure coming, and he is going to be brought down on a nice play by the Bama defense. That was Edric Hill who got there in the backfield. Fans tailgate with a tie. Game day done right. Has all the tents, tables, chairs, and more to make your tailgating space one to remember. Let Game Day Done Right quarterback your next tailgate. Book your single game or season-long tailgate space today. GameDayDoneRight.com. Second down, and not quite a boo-coodle, but a bunch. Still to come. About 18, maybe 19 yards. And a timeout's going to be called by the defense. Crimson unit here at 8A. Do want to remind you that our post-game wrap-up is going to be presented by Ziegler Meats. Ziegler Meats is full of tradition, just like Alabama football, serving quality meats to Tide fans since 1927. Ziegler Meats, proud to be the official hot dog of the Crimson Tide. Pick up your favorite Ziegler products at your local grocery store today. Good bit of scoreboard watching going on right now. If you're on the field, if you're determining whether or not you're going to get steak or weenies and beans. High snap to Simpson, but he'll catch it. Fire left side. Nobody there, though. It looked like the route got busted up a little bit. Intended for Bubba Hampton, the Texas native. A good coverage from Devontae Smith, the redshirt junior out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Another young man that we're expecting to call his name a lot more from a defensive standpoint. That other Devontae we talked about a lot when he was an offensive player. This is not the same one, but he's trying to make a name for himself.
He's actually had a really good day. He's coming in a couple of pressure packages where he's been able to get into the backfield and affect the play. Obviously good coverage on the previous play as well.
Simpson will fire a pass on third down, wide right, and that is incomplete. Trying to connect again with Bernard, but it's incomplete, and that'll be another 3 points for the defense. Tell you what, they've done a really nice job of making this very competitive in this scrimmage. We all had our doubts when it was 31-0, but now that it's 34-28, things get a little interesting right here.
And of course, an offensive coach is going to call it.
That is exactly the case.
They got too close.
Kalen Morrison ball game. Offense gets the win. I'm assuming they had a set number that they wanted to go with. And that'll wrap it up 34-28. The offense gets the win over the defense.
Yeah, but more importantly than the score, I was very impressed with the defense, how they battled a whole lot more in the second half, turned things around, gave a lot more hope and than what we were initially seeing there in the first period of play.
The Crimson and the White meeting at midfield. And shaking hands. And in a matter of moments, I believe we're going to have the presentation of the 8A awards, or the presentation of the MVP award anyway, coming up in a matter of a few moments. Butch Owens, fantastic again as our spotter, maybe the most challenging of days for our spotter, but nobody better to handle that than Butch, and appreciate him back with us. I'm not going to say it's approaching 40 years as the spotter on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, but it is approaching 40 years as the spotter on our network coverage. I tell you what, we'll go ahead and take a break. We'll come back and present the A-Day Awards right after this on the Crimson Tide